Then come to the next part is my macros. Okay. What's the macro is?
Uh,
This system. This is a process to record your current tasks you perform and de-perform it. De-perform it. Okay. You can record any task, any process, okay, and then you can perform it by use of the shortcut keys, by use of the macros options, okay. Where we find your macros in view section. Oh, sorry. In view section, we got a macros, not a review section. Oh, sorry. In view section, we got a macros option, and then also for developer option, you got a macros option also. Okay. In this pass, we have the Visual Basic. This is so about the VB script. Okay? This is your macros. Okay. And view section also we got an macros right here. When we click on macros, we have the macro shortcut right here. When we hover this thing and then we saw that Alt F8 is your macro shortcut. Okay, if you want to directly open the macros, then you can use the F8. Okay, Alt plus F8,
okay.
then you code the F8s. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Then this is your macros. I click on the view macros right here, and this is my macros. Here we don't have any macros right here because I don't create this anymore. Then how to create this macros? For this purpose, how can do this? First of all, we take a example is right here. Suppose here I took some values. This simple example right here. And this is my values. That's what I calculated. And I just erase it. Okay. Then I do one thing here to calculate it this parts. Okay. Suppose here I calculated this thing. Mhm. I calculate is this part. How can we calculate this for this purpose? You can calculate and log the one thing is your app section, right? And then multiply and then select this part and then you log the column section, row section, sorry. Okay. And then this will be calculated. Okay. This is your values right here. Okay, I just create some basic thing. I don't change this like I don't change will be done. First of all, come to the review section here, and then sorry, review section here, and then come to this part, and then here, what you do? Just start your recording, record macros. First of all, what you do? Just click on record macros. Okay. When we click on the record macros, then here we can name it as macros. Suppose here is my example macro. I name it as an example macro. Okay. And then one thing is remember that when we name is the macros, then we don't specify the space between them. Okay, use a underscore anything you name it. Okay, don't use a space between of two words. Okay? And second one is here for the use of the macros, you can specify your shortcut keys. And then remember, their shortcut key is only used when whose key is not used in the Excel. Suppose Control L is not used in the Excel. Okay, then you can use a Control L. Control M is not used in an Excel. Okay, then that's why you can use a Control M. Okay, some keys is not used in Excel. Okay, in alphabets keys, number keys. Okay, this thing you can use it. Suppose here I use a Control L right here and usually store the macros in this workbook, right? And then you can also write your description about this macros also. This is just a macros example. Okay, and just click on OK right here. And then when we click on the OK, then what will happen? Your recording is started. When we click on the stop, then recording will be stopped. Okay. Just one thing I do, just I convert it, and then here we write 20, here we write 25, and here we write 30%, right? Okay. And then I stop it. Okay. I stop the macros and just see view macros in the section. Here we have this macro right here. Okay, one macro is created. Okay. Suppose here I again change this in the 10%, okay, and then 15%, okay, 20% and 25%. If you come to the view section of the macros and here we run this macros, then what will happen? Again, 15%, 25, 20%, 25%, 30% will be changed. Why? Because this step will be recorded. This step will be recorded by use of the macros. Okay. And then every time you run the macros, this value, this cell value will be changed in every time. Okay. That's clear. You can
Yeah.
also you can also write here is a 25%, 30%. If you write anything values, okay, and then you can click your Control Alt. You can create your shortcut you want. Just click on the control and what will happen? This step will again you follow. This will step will be again will be done. Okay. Suppose you have to change this value right here. Okay. Suppose you take 250, 300. Okay. It doesn't matter what value you use. In this case, I only change in this part section, then only changes in this process. Okay, not have here. Okay, what you do here is nothing matter. Okay, okay. If you use a control app, this was will be calculated. Right.
Got it.
Then we see the one example of macro site here. First of all, for the macros, we can create a macros right here when we seed the macros. First of all, you remember for the saving macros because this file is your simple way. This is Excel file. Okay, this is your Excel file. An Excel file extension is your dot XLXX. Okay,
Yep.
S. This is your Excel file. But for that, you can use a macros right here, and then want to use in this macros in future to this sheet for this sheet purpose. Then what you do? Just save the file in form of macro enable format. Macro enable Excel file. Okay. Uh, how can we do this? For this purpose, we come to the file section and then click on the save as right here. Okay. And then where you want to save it, just click on it. Okay. And then here you have this file. And then what you do? Just click on this part and then here select your Excel macro enable workbook. This is your even mostly you file save in the Excel workbook, but you can save the in the form of Excel macro workbook, and this is XLSM. Okay, simple XLSM. Okay. My workbook. Okay, Excel macro enable workbook, and just click on this part. This is your part right here. If you do off this thing and then again open this thing, this doesn't matter because I saved this file in form of XLSM. Okay. And this is your actually if you want to share this file to other one, he can also use this macros file. Okay, if you know about this macros. Okay, let's click. I'll come to this part of the thing and then I do the example, one example for this part. Okay, and I make something else. So suppose I make a simple of is your I think cache memo. Okay, I create a cache memo. This was I think first of all check this out. How we have okay, and yeah, this is fine. Okay, this is your case memo, and as I do that, one thing I changed this thing to 12, and here I use some decoratives, and I increase this size also. And here I write the company name is your ABC company. This is your ABC company right here. I can use it and use different. Okay, and then use a bold. And then it is a company name also. And then right here is your company address is my Jaipur, Rajasthan. And there. This is your address. I merge it and use other and bold it and also increase this one. This is simple way you can create it. Next one is your receipt number. Okay. You have a receipt number right here. You have any of the receipt number? Okay. As across I use it. And in this case, I use this mouse and then also use a bottom border. Use a bottom border right here. Okay, this is fine. Okay. Next one, what you do here? Why right here is a name. Okay. Name of customer. Anything you can name of customer right here. Name of customers. Okay. I must across and use this box. And here is I use a macros across also. And then next one was to do just right here is add this. Okay. I just use merge across again. And then here I use this format. Yep. Okay, one thing I unmerge self first of all, and then also one thing I forget about date. Okay, here we want to apply the date, this usage merge across, and here we have the receipt number. Okay. This was good. Just check this out. What will we get here? Okay, here we got this thing. Okay, next one, what you do? First of all, right here is your serial number. The simple way I created serial number here. And then here we have the name of items. Okay. This is my name of items right here. I merge and center this part. Okay. And then what you want to do? I write here is approximate trend values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, right here. Okay, this is good. Okay, approximate trend value I write here. And then I apply all border. This is my all border. Then what you do? I do, this is my name of items, merge and center this part, and they use it to this, okay, this part. Here we have the number of quantity. What's your quantity you miss? Here we got the number of quantity. Do this purpose. Here we write your number of quantity. Here you write your rate per quantity. Okay. And I increase this part also. And then what I do? I do to remove this thing. But I don't need it. Okay. And this is your rate per quantity. Next one is your total amount. Is your amount. First amount you calculate it. Okay. Okay. I remove these two things out again. I increase this part also. Also I increase this options. Okay, all thing I want to arrange in center. And here this is my heading column. The site is heading. And this is also my heading. 1, 2 is my heading. So, that's fine. Again, I do one thing. September is not more accurate since it's bottom border, and here we have the date, and then here we have the bottom. This it's and then also this is on your. Okay. Then come to the next part is here. I want to calculate this total value. Suppose here is total amount. This here we calculate total amount, and again we can calculate this taxes. Suppose CGST, okay, SGST, and then VAT. If you have the VAT, and then you can amount total amount include all taxes. Include. Okay. On behalf of taxes, what's the total amount is here? Like calculate this thing also. Hmm. This is your part. And then if you want to write other things also here, then you can do that. Okay, next one will be I created for signature parts. Here we have the signature. Okay, and I do program model. And I write here is the signature. This simple way you can use it. And then again, uh, you can also write here the terms and condition and anything you can want to write here. I use a thick border in at outside. And just check this out. So as I make it here, I make this thing. That's called okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And in this case, I use your macros. Okay. In this part, I use macros right here. Okay. This computer science section, I use as a suppose as this cache memo I will make for the stationary purpose. Okay. Stationary purpose. Suppose here I have the number of items. Here we have the items. Which items you say? Pen, pencil, simple bit. Okay. And then sharpener. This is my stationary items. Okay. Eraser, or suppose your tiffin box. Here you sell water bottle also, or A4 papers. Okay. And okay, how सकता है 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 bags. And then use train box. Train box. Yeah. And you can also use some stuff right here. I just created this one data for this part, for this only. For it, what's the state right here? Mhm. Just show the rate here. Mm, Suppose here pen is sell in 15 rupees. Pencil I sell on the 10 rupees. Sharpener I sell on the 20 rupees. Eraser is I sell on the 20 rupees. Tiffin box I sell on the 90 rupees. Okay. Water bottle I sell on the 60 rupees. And then A4 size paper is I sell on the for bundle of the A4 size paper is 350 rupees. Okay. And bags I sell on the 450 rupees. Okay. And drawing box I sell on the 150 rupees. Right. Okay. And then we have the much more things also we can create it is because I can remember here. Okay. And then here I write symbol also for this parts. This I make something else for this purpose. Suppose here I want to create a list format. Okay. Here we I want to create this list. How can we do that? Just name is this list is items. Okay. And then click on the items right here. And then I want to create the list here. Then what you do? Just come to the data table and then come to the data validation here and then select your data list option. And the right here is equal to items. Okay. Click on the items right here. And then we got this value all. Okay. You select any one values right here. Okay. And then it's apply this thing in all the part. Okay. And also I make one thing also for these parts. Okay. And I choose items. First of all, come to this part in formulas. I first of all I delete this item's name. Okay. I select all this data and the name is items. Okay. Why? Because here I want to one blank space also. Okay. Here we have the blank space because I want to sometimes we show the blank space also. Okay. This is okay. You can use this thing and then you can create this path, right? And then I want to write here is suppose this quantity. Suppose I have the quantities 1, 2, 3, any quantities right here. Suppose one. Okay. And I make something is that is here we have to visible states. When we write the any name of item, then states will be visible by this use of this table. How can we do that? When we select any name and then rate on automatically visible of
You
this
could use
particular.
what if and what if.
No, no. In this case, we don't need to what if analysis because what if analysis is not necessary. Okay. Which one formula will we use? It's this case where we select any a name and then here display is rate. What's rate you set here?
Mhm.
You remember that VLOOKUP?
Yes, we look up. Yep.
Yeah, you can use the VLOOKUP also here. For this purpose, we like to use a VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this part, right? And then comma. This is your table array, right? Select your
Yep.
this table array. Then comma. Then what's your right here is column decimal. I want to value of the column number two. The site is column number two. And then first of all thing, I log this part also, okay, because I don't used to uh, move on. Okay. And next one is zero, comma. And then for the exact match, what you do, just write here is zero. And put here, enter. What's your boss here? Here we got this value, right? Okay. Just select any value right here, then you can use this. Okay, and then just come this pass. Here we got this. Okay, you select any of the thing right here. Suppose you select water bottle, the values will be changed. Drawing box, you can change this your values, and if you select other form, this here, any option will appear. Okay, one thing also we have this problem is any. But if you don't have select anything right here, then you don't want to need to show the any value also. How can we remove this part also? Okay, if
Mm,
for this purpose, we have one formula also. For this, about the if we look up, you just write here as if error. If error formula is also for removing your error value. This is a value. Okay, this is VLOOKUP is got your value, and if value if error, which if you get an error of NA, then what's your value want? Just I want to write is blank. Okay, just write as if error and then write says value, and then if you get an error, write it. This what you want to show. Just click on it. Then what will happen? Here we got the value is blank. That's it. Okay. But if
Okay.
right and nothing is here selected here, then what you go here? Here we go. Got nothing. That's fine.
Yep.
Okay. Next one, I want to create this amount right here. Then this is simple. You use a product, the yeah, multiplication, anything you can do it for this part. Okay. Don't necessary to do that. Okay. You directly multiply it and then you can also use the product values. Okay. If here you can also have this type of issues, just what you do here, we can also use this parts is your if error. Okay.
Right.
For you got an error, just write is if error formula, and then here this is its value for you get it, and then you can to inverted commas right here and then enter it. Okay, and then just put on it that final one. Okay, if you don't have any value, then we don't get any values. That's right. Up here,
Okay.
I want to calculate this total sum. Just use the formula of the sum, okay? And then also you can use alt equal to for this pass. Alt equal to you can also use. Okay, for this pass, one value is not have this thing. That's why it's not selected. Okay, so I deleted this portion because I select manually in this case. So use the sum and then select it to this part. Okay, and then enter it. Here we have the total value. Okay. Again, here we I want to apply is taxes. Suppose here in CGST I apply 9% of GST. Okay, taxes here because in India in station work you have to 9% of CGST as GST of 9%. Okay. Here what you do, just select your total amount and then multiply by 9%. Okay, here use GST amount. Okay, next one is you also do the same one. Select your total amount and multiply by 9%. Okay. And then if you have the weight tax also, then you can also mention it. And then if you don't have, then you doesn't need it. Just write here this sum. Again, select all these values. And after that, all the sum of the taxes you can have these values, right? Okay. And I use increase this formula, okay, because we have the value in form of decimal also. Okay. This is a simple way you can create it. Okay, if you see that values, suppose here I use A4 size paper and then I here something. Suppose I write all one. This is your value right here. Okay. And if you control P, use the control P right here, then what's to say? Here we got your cache memo right of things. Okay. This is simple of error because no, this is like a cache memo. Okay. Next one I want to create this is in this automatic way. I want to if you select every values, you can make your case memo, and after that I want to create one shortcut for this purpose, and then I click on the shortcut, and then all the data will be erased. How can we do that?
All the data to be erased.
Just one click, one shortcut will be clicked. Suppose Control M. All the data will
Not.
be vanish for this part. Not this part is a step number, date number, name of customer, address, and name of items. Here, this is clear to for new cache memo. Okay, this is fresh for new cache memo. We can build it. I because I make this because I can explain the macros is vast variety. Okay, suppose here I write here is receipt number. Okay, I write here is your date. Okay, so here this is your date. Here use the name something. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have the address right here. Is suppose here is right here is where we have to got this data. Okay, all data will be got here. Okay, you have the sign also, so you can also mention this, but I don't have to mention right here. Okay, then what you do? So if you have this data and then I want to vanish the data by click of one shortcut, then what you do, just make a macro for this part. How can you use the macros? Just click on the macro. First of all, record macros. Click on the record macros. I name is macros for cache memo. I make this record for the cache memo and then I use a shortcut is control M because I have left out control M shortcut because control L I already use it. Okay. So it is cache memo data. Okay. Just click on OK. And then your macros is start, right? Okay. Just what you do, just come to this part and then erase one by one. First of all, okay, one by one, each and every data you can erase it. And after that, you can one by one select the this part, okay, this parts and this part. All the data will be selected one by one. First of all, at the start, you can select it. After that, you don't need to select it. Again, you can use one by one. Basically, I need you one by one. Okay. Do as one by one. Okay, now again, I used to this data and in this data also. Okay, here we have this code, this data right here. Okay, all the data will be raised and then just I stop the recording. Okay, that's clear.
Yep.
And then I view, show the view macros. Here we have the macros right here, and then I also create this framework. Just have just right here make someone else. Suppose 560, and then here right here the date is 02 2025, and then here we write some suppose someone name. Okay. Here we write suppose here some of my address. Okay. And then select some values right here. Suppose I want is 3. Okay. And then I want different ones is 1. Okay. And another you want it, just use it. Okay. And then if you click Control M, just for shortcut, what will happen? All the data will be this. But why this data is not is okay, something will be happen. Okay, all the data is erased, but this data is not erased. Why? Hmm, what is सारी चीजों की दिक्कत क्या हो रही है? Clear content, clear content, clear content.
No, yeah, because
I think some
the first two rows were empty, so you didn't start them before.
first two rows is empty. I think I
Initially,
make something is not correctly. Okay. If you do this thing right here, then you can create this type of thing also. Okay. Because I use something is not valuable. That's why this will be happen. Okay. That's clear. How can we use the macro site here? Okay, this
yes.
is just an example for you to how to make your formats, and then also we can make something valuable. Is suppose this case memo you can also create by use of the your Excel. Your Excel sheet you can create multiple of things right here. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, that's clear. Macros. How to use the macros right here.
Yep.
Okay, and then you know about how to save this. Okay, then I want you to make this thing yourself and then show me. Okay, by
Okay.
the way of the USA, how can you and USA how to cache memory will build up? Just make this like it. Okay, this is the
Okay.
Indian format. Okay, because I use the Indian format. I know the Indian format only. Then you
Okay.
can build the cache memory format of the USA based. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and then as you know about this, today is 15 August. Okay, India's Independence Day. That's why today is tomorrow is a holiday. Okay, hello.
Yes.
Okay, that's why tomorrow
Okay.
is